Exams are just around the corner. Are you ready? At One Lawler and Rubtech, we have all the books you need to excel: mathematics, science, chemistry, English, biology, computer studies, religious education, home economics, and ECE books. Plus, we provide pamphlet question and answers to help you prepare with confidence. And not only that, we also offer stationery, toner, brand new printers on sale, document printing, and professional company registration services. Visit us today or contact us on +260 760 261 873. You can also reach us on WhatsApp. One Lawler and Rubtech, helping you succeed in your exams and beyond.
Hello, distinguished students. Welcome to my channel of empowering knowledge in computer science. I'm your perfect tutor, Mr. Mpundu, Boston. Previously, in our last video, we looked at generation in computer programming. And today, we'll continue from where we ended by looking at types of programming languages. Stay tuned, because this lesson will build a strong foundation for your understanding of how programming languages are involved and how they matter today. Thank you. Okay, welcome back. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about programming language, which is a special language that people use to tell a computer what to do. Now, remember, computers don't understand our human language directly. So, we will use programming language to communicate with them. In this session, I'll explain what a programming language is by looking at different categories and compare their advantages and disadvantages. So, what is programming language? As I listed here, it is a special language that people use to tell a computer what to do. Or in other language, you can say a programming language is a formal language used to write instructions that a computer can understand and execute. Is that okay? It acts as a bridge between human thinking and computer processing. That is better, right? Okay. Now, let me make an emphasis here. In C++, programming language or programming languages are divided into two categories. Number one, low-level language. Number two, high-level language. So, under low-level language, we have machine language, assembly language. And under high-level language, we have procedural language, object-oriented languages, scripting languages, and finally, functional languages. So, under high-level language, we have a lot, but these are the common ones. Okay? So, let's look at now one by one. Let's look at the difference between low-level language and the high-level language. So what's the difference? So the difference is that the low-level language or the low-level languages give direct control of hardware, okay? Make them very fast, but they are hard for human to learn and also for portable, meaning they are not portable across what? System. While high-level language, on the other hand, are much easier to use and work on many systems, but they may run slowly and offer less what? Direct hardware control. I hope you understand that point. Okay, if at all, now let's proceed. Now, at this particular time, we are going to look at the low-level language, machine language, assembly language, comparing with the high-level language. So, just an emphasis here, you have to remember that the machine language are written in what? In binary. Okay? Then, they are executed by what? They are used directly by what? A CPU, meaning they don't need any translator or a compiler. Then assembly language uses what? Mnemonics. What are mnemonics? We discussed that mnemonics are short words like move, ax, 3. So assembly language uses mnemonics code. What are mnemonics? Mnemonics, these are short words like the one that I've listed here. For instance, add, have, so 3. So when you say add, it means it has a specific meaning attached to it. So now, even though assembly language uses mnemonics which are written in letters, so for the computer to understand, there is a need of these mnemonics to be converted into binaries. Now, how do we do that? So these mnemonics are converted into binary by the use of what? By the use of assembler. Is that okay? So these mnemonics are going to be what? They use what? Assembler. So assembler now convert what? Mnemonics. Convert mnemonics, these mnemonics, into what? Into binaries, which is here. This is how it works. So in conclusion, I can say binaries are directly understood by what? By the CPU. Then assembly language uses mnemonics, and these mnemonics have to be what? Converted by the use of what? Assembler. Into what? Into binary here. That's when the computer can understand. So you find that mnemonics are easy than what? Machine language. They are friendly. Okay. Now let's proceed to high-level language. High-level language, we have procedural language, like we said, which uses the language like C, Pascal, because Pascal is a French name, right? Yes. Then object-oriented languages uses language like Java, C++, the one that we are using. Scriptive languages uses Python, JavaScript. Functional languages uses Sleep and Haskell. Okay. If at all, then let's proceed. As I said, we are going to look at languages, so, and also their differences between low-level language, high-level language, procedural, objective-oriented, scriptive, and functional languages. So to begin with, we'll start with low-level language. What is the advantages and what is the disadvantages? So under low-level language, we have advantage, which is it is very fast, direct hardware control. Disadvantage, hard to learn, not portable, means you cannot be, it is very difficult to what? To move, to carry. Is that okay? High level language is to read, write, portable, everything is what? Easy. Disadvantage, it is slow, less hardware control. Okay? So the difference is that the low level language give direct control of hardware. Okay? Make them very fast, but they are hard for human to read or to learn. And they are also not portable. While high level language, on the other hand, are much easier to use and work on many systems, like the way we said, right? But they run very slow, like you can see here. They run very slow, and they are offer less what? Direct hardware what? Control. Is that okay? Now let's look at machine versus assembly language. Advantage of machine language, it is fastest, it is direct, understood by CPU, meaning no need of a translator, any compiler, any assembler. Disadvantage, hardest to learn. It's very hard to learn this because it uses numbers. The same way it is very difficult for you to keep phone numbers in your head, rather than use mnemonics such as words, right? Yes. To remember, oh, this is Boston. Okay, what's this number? Then you type Boston, the number to come. You use mnemonics or words. Is that okay? Assembly language is than binaries. Like the same way I was explaining, use foreign numbers, but the output there is names. Okay, uses mnemonics. Okay, disadvantage, it is still complex hardware specific. These languages are related to what? Hardware. So, what is the difference that I can make here? I can just make an emphasis that a machine language is the only language that the computer can understand direct, and it is very fast, but it is also harder for human what to understand, since it is written in what zeros and ones. While assembly here, okay, while assembly language make it easy by using mnemonics like add, like the one that we discussed, move, plus, you understand. However, it is still technical and tied to specific what? Hardware. It's tied to specific what? Hardware. Do you understand that? Okay. I hope you get the concept. Let's look at procedural versus object-oriented languages. Advantage of procedural. It's very simple. It follows step by steps, and it's also good for small programs. Disadvantages is very hard to reuse. So when you write the code for procedurals, they are very hard for use. Okay, not good for large systems. Okay, object oriented, it is very usable. So it's a vice versa. Scalability, models, real world. Okay, so you can be used for, it can be, the code can be reusable, scalable, and model, real world. You understand these things. Okay, then disadvantages. Under disadvantages, you find that object oriented is more complex to learn. Why? Because it uses what? Large setup. Okay, so, and also we can just say under procedural programming language, okay, we notice that procedural programming language is very easy to understand because they follow step by step instruction. Okay, so those languages that follow step by steps, they are very easy, that you should know when you are programming, but they are not greater for every large system, since they are limited to what? To reuse. Okay, so wow, object-oriented languages are involved of grouping codes rather than what? Following step by steps. Okay, then the code are what? Reusable. This making it more scalable, and what? They are less what? Trade-off. Is that okay? Because it is object-oriented, it suits the object-oriented bits for complex what? Learning. I hope you get the concept. Let's look at the last one, scripting and the functional languages. Okay, so when someone say scripting, what does it mean? Scripting. Okay, let's proceed. Scripting language are fast to write, great for automation. Disadvantages, less efficient for heavy programs. Okay, under functional languages, we have advantage of it reduce errors, great for maths, heavy problems. It solve heavy problems. Disadvantages, harder to learn, less used in industries. They are less used in industries, even though they solve heavy problems. Is that okay? So one thing that you have to notice is that between scripting and the functional languages is that scripting languages like Python or JavaScript are greater for quick development and automation. but they are not as efficient for every industry program. While function languages are powerful in reducing errors and handling complex mathematics, but they are harder to learn and less commonly used in today's industry. Is that okay? So this is what I have for you guys about programming language, specifically C++. Thank you so much. I'm your perfect tutor, Mr. Boston Mpundu. Continue liking, subscribing for more content like this.